For the record, Mr. President, Your Honor, may we know the present policy or rule with regards to this para malaman din po ng ating makabayan na yung po sa with regards to the LOA, yung po bang past years when already settled, could the BIR still issue LOA regarding those years that were already settled?
Well, Mr. President, ang rule ay hindi na ho pwedeng balikan. No? But the law is very specific to what type of taxes you are paying or what type of taxes you have paid. So for example, kung nagbayad ka na ng income tax, dapat hindi na ho balikan yung income tax mo. Pero kung hindi ka pa nagbayad ng VAT, pwede nilang mag-issue ng LOA sa VAT. No? So, ganun po yung procedures. And the LOAs are typically ini-issue po yan kung merong deficiency in tax. No? Kung wala naman pong deficiency, dapat wala akong LOA. No? But I joined our colleagues in clamoring for reforms. Talagang matagal na ho natin, actually from our private sector days until now, ganun pa rin. Talagang aminado tayo na merong ilan sa mga BIR employees ginagamit talaga ito for money-making activities. So, dapat rin po maimbestigahan yung mga gumagawa nito at maparusahan, paalisin sa ahensya. Importante rin na commissioner in disiplina. No? Kasi kung merong mga notorious dyan, tanggalin na rin para hindi na pa ulit-ulit. I'm sure may mga notorious dyan na ginagawa ng money-making activities ho nila. So, yun po, Senator JV.
Thank you, Mr. President, Senator Gatchalian. Anyway, we wish our former Finance Secretary, now Executive Secretary, has given his trust and confidence in the new BIR Commissioner, so we wish you all the luck. And I'm hoping that the agency can guarantee the adequate safeguards and internal mechanisms will be put in place so that any form of corruption, ito pong pag-wait po na sa LOAs, will be prevented in the future. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator JV, for that very important intervention. And now that we have a new commissioner here, I'm very sure that he will take our comments and sentiments very seriously. And hopefully next budget wala na ganitong reklamo, Commissioner, dahil kailangan ho natin action kaagad. So maraming salamat. Thank you, Senator JV. Thank you, Commissioner.
Majority Leader. Thank you very much, Mr. President. I believe Senator Risa still has 3 more questions. Last few questions. May I recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros, Mr. President. Senator Risa Ontiveros, request.
Salamat po, Mr. Salamat po, Mr. President. Good Chairman, huling ilang mga tanong na lamang from this representation. So, unless na itanong na po ito at napag-usapan nyo with Senator Pangilinan on modernizing warehousing for rice. Hindi ba tapos-tapos ang problema ng NFA na naluluma, nasisira na lamang yung mga bigas sa kanilang warehouses. Dadami pa lalo ang bigas na iimbakin sa susunod na taong 2026. Makakatulong sana dito ang mga polisiya ng GPPB para sa mas maayos na logistics at warehousing para sa ating mga ahensya. Pinaglaban ang mandatong iyan ng GPPB sa pagpasa ng bagong Government Procurement Act. So, na-review na po ba, Mr. Chairman, ng GPPB yung kaso ng NFA sa kanyang inefficient at non-transparent warehousing operations? Kasama na po yung disposition ng mga aging o kaya expiring stocks At kung oo, ano pong mga rekomendasyon meron ang GPPB? At huli kailan kaya tayo makakatanggap ng technical report tungkol dito, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, thank you. And Senator Risa, thank you for that question. I was advised by the DBM that yung mga warehousing and inventory system the operations and management rest under the procuring entity. So sila ho talaga ang merong jurisdiction when it comes to warehousing and inventory. So nasa procuring entity po yung decision making.
I see. So ibig pong sabihin, Mr. Chair, walang ni kahit kaunting oversight ang GPPB o suasion na pwede siyang i-exert kahit kaugnay ng mga procuring entities? Mr. Chair?
Dito po sa New Procurement Act under Section 19, the procuring entities may adopt a general system of warehousing and cloud-based inventory of procured goods. So, nasa procuring entity ho talaga yung jurisdiction. But I think the GPBB can probably give advice, give suggestions to the procuring entity since sila po talagang in charge sa mga procurement aspects of our government. So, I think in that sense, pwede silang magbigay ng mga advice.
Salamat po para doon, Mr. Chair, para at least magkaroon ng kahit dotted line between GPPB at saka mga procuring entities para pwede nilang mapagtulungan i-review yung ganitong mga kaso and i-improve yung management ng mga warehouses ng lalo na ng NFA. And siguro habang sisimulan o susubukan ito ng GPPB, maybe in the coming months and years, we could hear from GPPB. Ano yung mga rekomendasyon niya para to also serve as input to us kung anong legislative support pwede natin gawin para sa pagpapasaayos ng warehousing processes na yan, Mr. Chair.
Request from GPPB and DBM to submit to us their recommendation insofar as how procuring entities should manage your warehousing and inventory systems.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Dako na po ako sa health devolution. Kasi hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin fully na-devolve ang health services kahit pa meron na tayong detalyadong 400-page na devolution transition plan para sa health. So, bakit kung ganun, bakit po sa DOH pa rin nakalagay ang pondo para sa mga serbisyong dapat yung mga LGUs ang gagawa na, no? Tulad ng pagpondo sa mga DOH bukas centers, Mr. Chair?
The way I understand it, Senator Risa and Our Honor, is itong mga pagpopondo ng bukas centers, super health centers, this forms part of the capability building of the LGUs. And nung nagkaroon kami ng hearing ni Senator Pia during the budget of the DOH, I understand that itong mga projects are entered into partnership with the LGUs. So meaning the LGUs provide the manpower, the utility, yung mga support, sila rin magmamanage nitong mga health centers at bukas centers. Pero ang construction will come from national government. So parang partnership siya. No? And admittedly, not all LGUs have the capability of putting up these facilities. And the concept that they are also applying, especially sa bukas centers, naintindihan ko sa hearing, is primary care to. So instead of going, may sipon ka lang o meron kang sakit, hindi ka diretso sa hospital because the hospitals, napupuno sila kaagad. So kung mga simple illnesses, they can go to the bukas centers or they can go to the health centers and thereby declogging the hospitals from simple or ordinary illnesses.
Oh, salamat, Mr. Chair. That is the importance of precisely a primary healthcare-oriented universal healthcare system. And kahit sa loob ng ganyang sistema, when there are these partnerships between DOH and LGUs, well, ini-imagine ko na habang nakakapacitate yung mga LGUs, there should probably come a time dun sa devolution transition plan na yon, which is 400 pages long, na eventually yung LGU na talaga fully capacitated nagpapatakbo. So eventually, a few years up the road, na yung budget para dun sa pagpapatakbo ng, halimbawa nga, bukas centers, naka-lodge na sa LGUs. Kumbaga, maha-hand over na ng DOH after training the LGUs, Mr. Chair.
I think eventually, ganun po magiging setup natin.
Okay.
The capability and capacity of the LGUs are uneven.
True.
Like here in Metro Manila, alam ko, all 17 LGUs, kaya na nila pondohan yung kanilang primary care all the way to tertiary. In fact, some of the LGUs may tertiary hospital. But in some places, mga municipalities, they still need the support of national government to help them with their primary care facilities. No? Kasi pag natulungan sila, madideclog rin natin yung mga hospitals natin, especially the DOH hospitals. No? So the concept there is we help the LGUs so that we can declog the national hospitals.
And if I remember correctly, Mr. Chair, nung unang iniro-roll out yung implementation ng UHC Act, there were like 30 plus, please correct me if I'm wrong, 30 plus areas around the country na unang iro-roll out yon. So I imagine yung ganitong devolution transition plan, posibleng doon din unang magka-come to fruition in terms of the LGUs, the capacitated LGUs actually running facilities like the bukas centers.
I think the tricky part with devolution is how do you address the uneven capacity of LGUs?
Yes.
What's the right formula or the equitable formula to capacitate the less, I guess, the smaller LGUs para they can also give services equally to their constituents. They can give services to their constituents equally as good as those who have the capacity. Yung po yung tricky part doon.
Yeah. And which should be at the heart of a good devolution transition
Yes,
plan.
correct.
And eventually, over time, in phases, magagabayan din tayo sa Kongreso how to budget, not overnight, but in phases.
Correct. So it's you have to look at this as a long-term transition. No? So, but you're absolutely correct. And I know that national government is also looking at this long-term transition.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. And maybe therefore, susuportahan kaya ng DOF at ng DBM ang pag-develop halimbawa ng co-financing o counterparting sa pagitan ng national government at mga LGUs para suportahan ang devolution. Again, in batches or in phases, gaya ng DOH devolution transition.
Yes, a resounding yes from the Executive Secretary, Secretary Ralph Recto. And I think this coming 2026, mag-umpisa na ho yan. Like I mentioned, maraming mga agencies are looking into counterparting so that they can execute their projects fast and simultaneously. So the Department of Education is looking at that. The Department of Agriculture is looking at that. So natuto na sila na i-liberalize yung execution of projects.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. Exciting to look forward to that sa ating annual budget-making exercises in the next several years.
Yes.
Salamat po. So huling tanong na lang po from this representation sa ating general principles on create incentives for calamity-affected businesses. Maraming mga negosyo nga ang nahihirapan bumangon matapos ng nakaraang mga kalamidad. So, tinitignan po ba ng DOF na bigyan ng tax incentives na nakapaloob sa bagong create law yung mga negosyong nasalanta ng mga nakaraang lindol at bagyo para yung mga yon ay makabangon